As we kick off the summer season this Memorial Day, we're using the broadcast to examine New Jersey's shrinking shoreline. We look at the significance this has on tourism and its impact on the state's economy, as well as the billions of federal and state dollars being spent to maintain New Jersey's beaches each year. To put it in context, New Jersey ranks #1 in the country for spending on beach replenishment. You can see it best from the air how climate change and sea level rise is impacting the coastline. In some sections, beaches are now less than a football field wide, and places like North Wildwood and Atlantic City are desperate for emergency repairs before the summer tourism season kicks into high gear. We begin with senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan in North Wildwood.
Beach season's a real cliffhanger here in North Wildwood. Ravaged dunes look like they've been bulldozed. Its skinny beach, brutally stripped of sand by erosion, can almost disappear under a high tide in some sections. Joe checks tide charts before walking his dog Finn.
Oh, come on. I play the tide. So basically low tide, I'll come out here so I have a little bit more beach.
A high tide, there's no beach.
None?
No. So where are you going to put your towel?
Steve's a hotel handyman. Like other locals, he's concerned because if North Wildwood loses beachfront, it loses business. The town markets itself with the motto sun and sand. Summer resident Lucille Stanziali says cancellations have already started rolling in.
And I think it's taken a financial hit on the whole area here because a lot of people have canceled and relocated to a different part of the shore, or they're just going on cruises or going somewhere else.
Because
of the beach being so limited in space.
It's devastating to see all this sand gone.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
We've
horrible.
been coming down for years with our grandkids for over 30 years, and there was always room on the beach. I mean, it would get crowded, but there was plenty of room. And the last couple of years, I don't know what happened.
North Wildwood's been fighting to hold on to its sand for years. This dune is 16 feet high. It used to run for about 25 yards, and then after that was the beach. The beach went for 100 yards. I mean, that's as long as a football field. Almost none of it's left.
So really in the last 2 years is when we saw this really dramatic erosion because we had no means of replenishing it.
North Wildwood Mayor Patrick Rosanello explains they had built back this shoreline using emergency truckloads of sand driven along the water line from neighboring Wildwood. But erosions erased so much beach, dump trucks couldn't squeeze around amusement piers to make the trip anymore. The city tried to build a steel bulkhead barrier to protect streets like 13th Avenue. With no dunes, it's wide open to the waves, vulnerable to ocean storms like the one back in January 2016.
Just from a nor'easter that just happened to coincide with a full moon and a high tide and an intense nor'easter, and it caused significant damage.
However, North Wildwood's bulkhead plan hit a different kind of barrier. The DEP denied them a permit, claiming bulkheads here would only make the problem worse. Facing a virtually beachless summer, the hapless city sued the state. Just a half-hour drive north, the federal government came to Sea Isle City's rescue with a scheduled sand dredging project to repair its eroded shoreline. The Army Corps of Engineers started replenishing 3 beaches along Sea Isle City's oceanfront in May. The Corps works on a rotating multi-year cycle with Jersey shore towns that started in the early 1990s. In Sea Isle, it's pumping and spreading enough sand to fill 140 football fields 4 feet deep by Memorial Day.
The economic engine is tourism here for us. It's very important that our beaches are vibrant, our beaches are open, and our beaches are able to be used by people to come here. The beaches are our lifeline.
But at what cost? One eye-opening study shows that per foot of shoreline, New Jersey leads the nation in beach replenishment. More than $3 billion from all sources adjusted for inflation since 1936. 245 million cubic yards of sand. And that sand keeps getting washed away, sometimes catastrophically. Superstorm Sandy obliterated much of Wortley Beach, part of Toms River. The Corps repaired Ortley's dunes in 2019, and it's in the pipeline for more federal beach nourishment. But with relentless erosion chewing at Ortley's slender ribbon of sand, Toms Rivers had to spend more than $1.3 million out of pocket since 2021. Dollars it can ill afford just to maintain its beaches until the Corps arrives. For the feds, it's a mission.
In general, in New Jersey, with a very highly developed shoreline with homes, businesses, roads, boardwalks, utility lines, all of that, generally speaking, beach fill emerged as the most cost-effective way to manage the risk.
Stockton University has identified lots of erosion hotspots all along the Jersey Shore. Some places even flood on sunny days, simply from high tides. With New Jersey sea levels projected to rise another 2 feet by 2050, Stockton's Kim McKenna warns the Army Corps may have to rethink its approach.
It means we all have to figure out how to adapt to that. If we're not willing to move off of the barrier islands, we have to figure out what's the best way to adapt to these rising waters. We can certainly place more sand on the beaches. It's going to be extremely expensive.
The fear is everyone's going to have a different breaking point, and every municipality has different challenges.
Christina Renna heads South Jersey's Chamber of Commerce. She says shore tourism generates $20 to $30 billion a year, mostly from Atlantic and Cape May counties. But with erosion now outpacing the Army Corps' efforts to repair beaches in some places, it's a changing economic reality.
The beach replenishment projects are necessary and expensive. Creating infrastructure, new infrastructure that is raised higher, expensive. There is no easy solution to this problem.
It's a risky business. Casinos along Atlantic City's erosion-prone North End have privately paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to replenish sand that winter storms gouged out of their beaches. But it's gone now, and the city's not due for Army Corps beach replenishment until next year. The mayor sees an imminent threat to both tax revenues and public safety.
The beach is dangerous right now. You can see the condition that it's in. We have a tremendous beach patrol and everything, but safety is first and foremost. And that's what we're going to stress here.
So when you think about all of the businesses that are impacted by beach tourism, anywhere from, of course, the casino hotels, but non-casino hotels, so many vendors depend on the beach tourism.
Atlantic City's working with state officials. Meanwhile, North Wildwood scored a last-minute emergency rescue. The $17 million dredging project in nearby Hereford Inlet will soon funnel more than 330,000 cubic yards of sand via pipeline to help bolster the town's damaged beachfront until the Army Corps can do a full-scale beach restoration next year. New Jersey pays $10 million, the city $7 million. The bigger sandy beach by July 4th, priceless.
So Hereford Inlet hasn't been dredged in over 10 years. There's a restriction on using any federal money to dredge Hereford Inlet, but because this project will be 100% state and local, we're able to dredge out of Hereford Inlet.
How you feel?
I feel very good right now. I'm very appreciative of Governor Murphy. This has been a long road.
It is kind of scary. Mother Nature is getting a little vicious out there, but I have faith in our mayor and our governor to come to a reasonable solution to all of this.
Until its beach gets rebuilt, the town will ban big cabanas and outsized tents, so more folks like Lucille and her family can fit in to enjoy the sun and sand. In North Wildwood, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJ Spotlight News.